Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. The purple armored being gazed at the others, be it human or other races, saying, everything is according to the rules. Since he fulfills all the requirement, we should accept him. Agree. Agree. Large amounts of warriors agreed. The Hong Alliance only accepts true absolute warriors. If one can rely on treasures or special techniques to kill a low emperor, it still proves his strength. However, what I'm worried about is that it may be his guardian that killed the low emperor. And that guardian isn't recorded in the army system. Naturally, the army would take it as Luo Feng's contribution. A jade green life form said with a sharp voice. Hence, I request to see the footage. Looking at the footage will prove everything. Yizhen Knight, take out the footage. Many warriors looked at the purple armored human. Viewing his footage is beyond my authority. The purple armored human said, I haven't even seen it yet. Ah. How can that be? I personally requested it from the army system. But my authority is too low. I failed. He's not even a knight. How can his video be so hard to get? The originally quiet hall had over 100 warriors immediately begin to argue. It was obvious that this lack of authority for his footage was something beyond their understanding. The purple armored man said, this is the authority level set personally by the primal chaos city leader. Silence. The over 100 warriors all went silent, glancing at each other, as their eyes were filled with helplessness. The Hong Alliance was a powerful alliance made of many other race warriors led by humans. With humans as the leaders, the primal chaos city leader ranked amongst the top 3 in humanity. His authority and power in the Hong Alliance could only be imagined, and as for the authority levels he set, the knights present couldn't say anything about it. His authority level was extremely high. As long as he wished it, less than 3 in the alliance could see the footage. Any objections to accepting Luo Feng in? The purple armored giant looked at the others. No objections. Nothing. Agreed. Agreed. They all swiftly nodded and forgot about the footage. Since everybody agrees, I will immediately arrange for a team to invite him officially into the Hong Alliance. The giant nodded and vanished. The others began to vanish as well, and in an instant, only 108 empty seats were left. Asterisk 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 asterisk. On Yangji main continent. Attack and destroy everything. Wei gritted his teeth. The hexagon prison immediately shot out a blur of white lights that gathered into lasers. Each beam had at least 10 sector Lord Pinnacle strength, and over 100 of them were destroying everything in the area. The sturdy stones and metals were instantly reduced to nothing against these lasers, few became fragments, and even lesser were left undamaged. A beam of light hit the Mosha transformed stone. This was after all 10 times Pinnacle Sector Lord strength, and the Mosha body was only Sector Lord Pinnacle. After becoming a stone, its law comprehension etc. were all useless. The stone tore open and became 7 fragments, the remaining parts became dust. I'm about to be discovered. Continue to attack, reduce everything to nothing. Wei began to examine the information clearly from his hexagon world. Black Jade Emperor. He communicated to him. Black Jade looked at him, his eyes cold behind his mask. I'd like to trouble you to look for Death Spirit Emperor. Wei said. When we got the report from Black Grace Emperor, I immediately invited Death Spirit over. He's already in the space above the Yangji main continent. He teleported here via God Country, these are the coordinates. Black Jade vanished. Wei was feeling the pinch, hate and unhappiness. I thought that Black Grace, as a Pinnacle Emperor, wouldn't give me false information. I immediately informed Death Spirit. Now that is teleported via God Country over, if he came here for nothing, I cannot not give him anything. To make a Pinnacle Emperor teleport via God Country over for nothing. How could he do that? He naturally had to give some gifts to satisfy him. After a few seconds, two silhouettes appeared. A short masked black jade and a scaled 1,000-eyed death spirit emperor. His formless pressure caused Ciweka to feel uncomfortable, even Black Grace felt a shock. Both were pinnacle emperors, but the difference in power was still huge. Death spirit was strong in the soul side, and there were many emperors that died under his hand. Naturally his position was higher. "Where's the Silver Wing Emperor?" he asked. "This?" Ciweka felt embarrassed. Space Ripple. Space Ripple. Black Jade and Black Grace simultaneously felt a space ripple. This familiar ripple, to the two that knew how to teleport, they instantly deduced, there was a warrior that teleported. A warrior teleported. Black Grace said coldly, "I'll lock down the space around us." Black Grace, who had been watching beside, felt a bit guilty for taking the 200 million indigo gems worth of treasures, as they searched for the Silver Wing Emperor. He couldn't possibly return it, naturally he wanted to try and help. He had long set up his undying energy about. He then activated it to become countless undying threads, forming a spider web, locking down an area of about 30 million kilometers. The Silver Wing Emperor is there. Ciweka easily detected him with his hexagon prison. The prison also locked down on two targets. Ciweka was extremely excited. Beside him is that teleporting undying that saved him last time, Star Fantasy Emperor. It's Star Fantasy from the human camp. Chase. Black Jade and Death Spirit were filled with killing intent, while Ciweka was excited too. Ciweka, use your hexagon prison to stop him. With the space lockdown, they won't be able to teleport anymore, and can only fly. With the hexagon prison stopping them within a 1,000,000-kilometer distance, we can easily catch them. Black Jade was very excited, as he was anticipating the rewards from the capture. Understood, Ciweka was extremely excited. Black Grace stood by the side, using his space lockdown to help communicate. Ciweka, with this, we are even. Haha, Black Grace, thanks. Ciweka was extremely grateful. Black Grace and Black Jade had spread their undying energy to scan. However, Black Jade had suddenly gone to get Death Spirit. With that, just for Black Jade to spread his undying energy again to scan would take quite some time. The speed of the undying energy spreading was only maximum light speed. Black Grace, however, had been there all the while and maintaining his scan. Hence, he could unleash the space lockdown the fastest. Silver Wing Emperor, there's trouble. Star Fantasy smiled gently. Her voice resounded within the golden horned beast's mind. The moment she teleported here, the space was on complete lockdown, she couldn't teleport away. Haha, no problem, we cannot teleport away, but they cannot teleport over too. The golden horned beast replied, stay on my claw, they can't catch us. I've heard of your legendary speed, we'll rely on it then. Star Fantasy smiled. Her dreamy wings flapped and she landed on the beast's claw scale, undying energy binding her to the scale tightly. Let's go. The beast flapped its wings and unleashed strike travel, leaving behind warps in the space as it accelerated to a shocking speed. Wing wing. Countless white threads wrapped about the beast's surroundings. Even though it wasn't like the purple threads of the 9 absolute god country, these threads only had 1/10,000th of its strength, but it was much more numerous. Even though it couldn't stop the beast, it did slow it down. Not good. The beast slowed down with Death Spirit. Black Jade and Ciweka were chasing behind, along with Black Grace who was watching the show. Haha, Silver Wing, you cannot escape. The beast looked back and easily saw hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. There were 4 little dots that were closing the distance swiftly. The beast flapped its wings and a huge space slit appeared. It flew in, however Black Grace's space lockdown was everywhere. Death Spirit, Black Jade, Ciweka, and Black Grace all simultaneously flew into the slit. The hexagon prison easily tore the space and pierced in. Within the slit of space, the 6 pyramid ships were like sturdy stones unaffected by the mad flow of space, maintaining their prison. Black Grace maintained his lockdown, however the space fragments, made the others all slow down a lot. Countless fragments were all around, there was no way to get rid of them all. Their flight was affected greatly. Howl! The beast howled happily, flapping its wings. The beast was fast like a demon, completely unaffected by the mad flow of space within. The mad flow of space doesn't affect him. That's impossible. The calm Black Grace was shocked. The other two emperors were shocked as well. They didn't know that the Showu wings had its own space energy. Also, unleashing its second form would allow the beast to control the space movement around him. Now at only the first form, even though it couldn't control the flow, it could still easily fly within, unaffected by it. Like a fish in water. It flapped its silver wings with terrifying speed. Even though the hexagon prison was affecting the beast, the space flow was affecting Ciweka and his party. Its effect on Ciweka was the greatest. He watched as the huge silver beast flew further and further, breaking out of Black Grace Emperor's space lockdown area. After which, they teleported and vanished. Bastard! Ciweka howled unsatisfied. The other emperors all stopped and were silent. Black Grace, who was simply here for kicks, couldn't help but exclaim, impressive. Black Jade and Death Spirit looked at Ciweka. Ciweka. Death Spirit emphasized, even though we don't want to admit it, with the Silver Wing Emperor's strength and his allies, we have no way to kill him. Black Jade nodded. Damn. Ciweka gritted his teeth in disgust. If only his 9 absolute god country was complete, then using it alone, he could stop the Silver Wing Emperor and stop him from escaping. The 9 absolute god country had forbidden formations to stop warriors. Back then when they battled, Ciweka had hesitated to use it. As it was forbidden, each seal cost about 1 billion indigo gems worth, hence he hesitated. Even getting a pinnacle emperor only cost that much. That hesitation made it too late. Later on, when the beast used the Bug Clan army and unleashed its strongest attack, while the god country was replenishing its energy, it destroyed one ship and it immediately threw Ciweka's plans into disarray. Death Spirit and Black Jade. He looked at the two of them and communicated, "This is my mistake. Since we have no way to deal with him currently, we'll give up. As for you two, you've both shown effort." Death Spirit even rushed over from Star Tower. "I will repay you two accordingly." Black Jade and Death Spirit's gaze became gentler. They had worked hard. Seeing that there was no hope of getting the Silver Wing Emperor, they didn't request for the initial reward agreement. However, they still deserved to be repaid somewhat. Automaton Virtual World. After appeasing the two emperors, Ciweka arrived in his own quarters and sat in the alloy chair, looking at the information on the screen. This plan would have a 99% rate of killing the Silver Wing Emperor. Ciweka revealed a pained look. "However, it would make me spend almost all my cash. Would it be worth it? I could completely lower myself to ask my master to rebuild the 9th ship. Even completely rebuilding it would only cost a few billion indigo gems. The plan, however, would make me lose almost all my cash." Ciweka was troubled. He had given the two emperors about 200 million indigo gems each. Without any success, this was generous enough. It meant that his expense so far still wasn't that huge, only a few 100 million indigo gems. This new plan, however, was absurdly expensive. Heck! Even if I don't use it after buying it, I can sell it away. Even if it's not against the Silver Wing Emperor, it'll be another trump card. He gritted his teeth, "I'll get it." He immediately began to craft his order. The automaton race relied on their weapons to battle. Hence, one had to have sufficient wealth to buy powerful weapons to deal with stronger warriors. Even if one had enough wealth to buy a SSS god base, even a knight wouldn't be able to deal with them. One attack would kill a pinnacle emperor without a doubt. This was the power of the automaton weapons. Similarly, it was extravagant. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Within an endless river on the main continent. Silver Wing Emperor and Star Fantasy Emperor appeared in the depths of the river. Star Fantasy, thanks for your help. The beast let out a low rumbling noise. I didn't do anything, I just teleported. Star Fantasy's voice was gentle. Her blurry wings flapped gently as her demonic figure appeared and disappeared. She laughed, to personally see the Silver Wing Emperor unleash his flying technique within the space slits. That's an extra benefit for me. Right, Silver Wing Emperor, seeing the way you fly, theoretically, you should be able to teleport already. Star Fantasy asked. I've comprehended part of teleportation, along with space combination, the two combined creates a special flying method. I've been spending time on this. However, later on, I will quickly comprehend teleportation fully. The beast answered. Star Fantasy was shocked, replying with respect, combining teleportation and space combination to create a flying method. I'm filled with respect. The space laws were indeed split between teleportation and space combination and space movement. Every one had its own subdivisions. Teleportation had inanimate teleportation and space resonance along with contact void and many others. Only when one fully comprehended everything could he teleport. This was but one way to do it. Just like how humans could be split into men and women, they could also be split into infants, children, youths, adults, mature. Using a different mindset, there were many ways to go about it. This was after all a combination of the whole space laws. Hence, they could naturally all be blended together. You overestimate me. The beast said. That's a fact. In terms of instantaneous speed, you are the fastest amongst all the emperors I've seen. Star Fantasy said. Thanks. The beast wasn't proud at all, because it knew that this was but a lie he said. With sufficient accomplishment in the space laws, he could easily create something suitable. In terms of flying, it mostly relied on the Showu wings. After saying goodbye to Star Fantasy Emperor, Luo Feng returned to his Earth body and swiftly sat in his ship. He flew in the vast skies, looking for a new base. While flying, he couldn't help but feel curious and excited. He made the Mosha body and the golden horned beast examine the treasures the youth left behind. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Within the world ring, black-clothed Luo Feng and the beast appeared. Mosha Luo Feng held 2 world rings, and within them lay the Naisha youth's treasures. Just what treasure is it within this that can make both the earth body and the beast feel its powerful calling, every cell jumping from within? Mosha Luo Feng held the world ring that gave off the powerful calling. The beast was sending its spirit energy in to examine it. Rumble. The black-armored youth was long dead. Hence, the spirit imprint was like water without a source, and was incredibly weak. It immediately crumbled and the beast's spirit energy pierced in. Large amounts of items appeared on the ground before the beast. That's it. The beast felt the powerful calling, and black-clothed Luo Feng immediately grabbed the item. This was a palm-sized black and light, glossy soft metal board. This was similar to the black metal board he had discovered back on Earth. It was similar in material and size. Technically, it was a little bigger. The second black metal board. Mosha Luo Feng held his breath. This is it. He could feel the soldier and general armor. A heavenly treasure. He had no way of getting within the human treasure trove, the nameless manual. It was because of this metal board. This was the root of the inheritance. No wonder the calling far exceeded the soldier and general armor. Luo Feng thought. Just the material of the board is more mysterious than any G-grade metals I know. It should hold the nameless manual within. Let's hope it's the second volume. Luo Feng anticipated. The nameless manual had a total of 9 volumes. The one he found on Earth let him learn only the first. This second board may not necessarily hold the second volume. It was hard to say. It may even be the 7th or 8th. That way, it was impossible to study it without learning the earlier volumes. It had to go in order, like that Naisha youth. Even with this metal board, without the first volume, he had no way to train it. Howl. The beast let out a howl and looked down, using its spirit energy to permeate the black metal board. My children. A thread of consciousness pierced into Luo Feng's mind. This was similar to when he did the first board on Earth, the same voice, after which endless illusions followed. However, in terms of willpower, Luo Feng was obviously stronger than back then. He quickly passed through them. Just like before, large amounts of words entered his mind, flooding him with information. This information was more than before, a total of 59,103 mother flame words. The details within this one involved the second, fifth and seventh volume, of which the second and fifth were complete, while the seventh one only had over 3,000 words and was incomplete. Now, of the 9 nameless manual volumes, the first was complete. The second was complete. The third was missing. The fourth was missing. The fifth was complete. The remaining 4 were missing and incomplete. Ha ha ha, this is a true windfall. I always thought the earth body and the golden horned beast's bodies weren't strong enough, and now I got the second black metal board. The second volume is complete, at least I can begin its training. Moshe Luo Feng stood beside, extremely excited. How? The beast raised its head in excitement. This was something that allowed them to break through the limitations of their genes. Luo Feng had never heard of any other manual that had the same effect. With his current status, he had access to many manuals, and even techniques created by warriors like the Primal Chaos City Leader. Yet, he had never seen something like this. This was something that the laws of the universe should have destroyed. To train the second volume, I would need some time. Black-clothed Luo Feng muttered to himself. The first volume back, then took the earth body 3 months and the golden horned beast 29 years. This second volume would require quite some time too. I'm in no rush to begin now, let's see what other treasure he has. To acquire this black metal board is a huge windfall for him. To a low emperor that can unleash time stop, he may have other treasures within. He kept the second black metal board. He once again began to examine the other items that were left behind carefully. After completely searching through and taking out the treasures the Indonesia youth left behind, the goods spread over 10,000 kilometers across the vast grassland. Even though it was plenty, there were only few with value. One of which instantly attracted his attention. 29 centimeters 1,000-year light. Black-clothed Luo Feng looked at a laser-like item. This 29 centimeters of light was lying on the ground. After careful examination, he could feel the light warp about it, naturally being drawn in. 1,000-year light. It was a peculiar item. It was a material used to create time-based weapons. These sort of materials would occasionally occur within a black hole, or within a secret region. It was priceless. This 29 centimeters 1,000-year light, it would cost at least 3 billion points in the treasure trove. He muttered that Indonesia warrior actually had such a treasure. Green-white dew, 32 kilometers, diameter 2.1 meter 8.2 meter. 360 beads of 9 light grains. After separating the goods, he got more and more excited. Seeing how he's accumulated so many materials, he must have been planning to forge a powerful time-based weapon. Luo Feng muttered that black whip was made of good materials too. It could change in size and meld with the time laws. However, its price is only within 1 to 200 million points. How could it compare to these? Just the materials alone would cost about 8 billion points, and this is with my discount and all. That Indonesia youth would probably have to pay even more. The weapon he would create from these would have been terrifying. After documenting all the items, Luo Feng smiled. Very good. The points and wealth accumulated from killing normal warriors could never compare to simply killing one with a huge background. Of course, the bigger their background, the harder it was to kill them. That Indonesia youth, from Luo Feng's perspective, was much harder to kill than Ciweka. The black armored youth, Ciweka, and Luo Feng. They all had huge backgrounds. If they succeeded in killing Luo Feng, the Shogu wings, the beast god armament, the Luo Ku holy water, the black metal boards, the general armor, they'd truly strike it rich. Even with background, the knights behind the black armored youth and Ciweka would never dare barge into the outer region wars. As for Luo Feng's teacher, the Primal Chaos City Leader, He had said so himself. He didn't wish to have to go save Luo Feng. After all, he could do so with his position. However, it was somewhat of a disgrace. Unless he was completely forced into a corner, the city leader would never come. The spoils are not bad. Luo Feng nodded. The beast beside him was gazing down at the blur of items. Suddenly a seemingly normal crystal attracted its attention. He looked down. Its dark gold eyes staring at the crystal amidst the countless other items. It was a round and normal-looking crystal. Black-clothed Luo Feng flew to it and stared. The round crystal ball was the size of a soccer ball. It lay on the ground. World energy floated about the crystal before permeating it. Just as the world energy entered the crystal, it suddenly lit up. Hua! All sorts of colors glowed from it. It shot out light in all directions, almost like a glaring sun. Endless lights engulfed the entire world. Within the lights, Luo Feng and the beast felt discomfort within the space and time. My God! Luo Feng stared. Howl! The beast howled, staring wide-eyed. The two bodies stared at the normal-looking crystal that was glowing brightly with many colors. That mysterious powerful energy, and the discomfort of the time and space, instantly made Luo Feng understand. Huge treasure. I've found a huge treasure. Damn, this is that Indonesia youth's true treasure. I've been curious, at low emperor level, how could he unleash time stop? That move is even harder than teleportation. This must definitely be a huge treasure. Luo Feng muttered, staring hard at the glaring crystal. Actually, when the Indonesia youth unleashed time stop, Luo Feng had thought, he had used a combination of his talent and law comprehension to do so. After seeing the mysterious crystal, Luo Feng instantly deduced, that ability was most definitely from the crystal ball. Luo Feng had seen many treasures, however he rarely saw something with such powerful energy. A blur of mysterious words began to appear on the surface of the crystal. The strokes of the words were like engravings. Even though Luo Feng didn't understand them, he instantly understood them. These words. Luo Feng was staring intensely. Demon Note Inheritance. It's the same words from the Demon Note Inheritance. Yes. Luo Feng had seen these words once before. It was back then when he accepted the Demon Note Inheritance. The same mysterious words from before. Even though he didn't recognize the words, he still instantly understood what they said. The content was simple. The summary was: this is the inheritance crystal of Dream Light God. Any sector Lord life form with a soul can fully accept it. After completing it, he can begin training in Dream Light God techniques. Completing the inheritance to perfection will make one a God messenger. The messengers can meld these crystals with their body. If successful, he can become a new Dream Light God candidate. The universe is vast, however there will only be one Dream Light God. If one becomes the candidate, the others with the crystals can only at most become messengers. Only when the candidate falls will a new one emerge. The inheritance occurs once every 10,081 eras. This one was used 82 eras ago. It requires another 9,999 eras to accept another. Luo Feng blinked after reading. He understood this Dream Light God candidate meant that there were many that actually made huge progress with this inheritance. It was obvious the difficulty was far below that of the Demon Note Inheritance. Back then the Demon Note Inheritance had said, over countless years, not a single being had completed it. And the way of inheritance seemed different too. The Demon Note Inheritance went step by step, only reaching the end. Will it allow one to have great progress? This Dream Light Inheritance was first learning the technique and training it. When one reached the level of messenger, he could wait for the current candidate to fall and grow. Another 9,999 eras for the next one. Damn. 100 million years. Luo Feng couldn't help but laugh. Looks like the last inheritance was definitely used by that Indonesia youth. He definitely got the technique within, hence he could use time stop. What do I do about this? Luo Feng muttered. This was a treasure, yet he couldn't use it. Simply guessing alone, it was clear that this was related to the time laws. He however walked the path of the beast god. This path was a true path of the universe masters, mainly fusing gold and space. Naturally he wouldn't waste time in studying the time laws. Specializing was more efficient. spending time on what he was proficient in. However, he couldn't use this. But its value was undeniable. This was an inheritance crystal, one that occurred once every 10,081 eras. It was hard to determine its worth. I cannot use it. It'll be a waste in my hands. Anyone who wants to use it will have to wait 9,999 eras. Luo Feng shook his head. Only those that have lived that long would have the patience. I'll go ask teacher on how to deal with this. He instantly made the decision. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The Dreamlight God Inheritance Crystal was something he had never seen within the treasure trove. It was obviously much rarer. Such a treasure. It was easiest to get an answer from the Primal Chaos City leader. Tru Yang is training in the space laws too. He's at the final step now to becoming a knight. This is useless to him. Luo Feng was very grateful to Tru Yang. If he could help him, he would definitely do it. However, Tru Yang was at the final step. Many valuable treasures were useless to him. The useful ones, Luo Feng couldn't afford. Virtual universe, at the highest peak of Thunder Island, endless primal chaos energy engulfed the palace. That was the city leader's palace. Luo Feng appeared outside the entrance and stepped in, walking inwards. Teacher. Luo Feng bowed respectfully. What's the matter? A calm voice resounded from the chaos energy. I've just acquired a treasure from the outer region wars. He said respectfully, this treasure. I've never seen it before. After checking it, mysterious words appeared on the surface, and I got to know that it's an inheritance crystal for the Dreamlight God. God Inheritance Crystal. The city leader walked out from the chaos energies. Even though he didn't show any of his strength, a life form at that level naturally made Luo Feng submit. The city leader's expression was casual, his eyes deep and profound. He smiled. You actually got an inheritance crystal. Your luck sure is good. Even the Hong Alliance has only collected over 8,000 such crystals. As for the Dreamlight God crystal, the Hong Alliance only has one. It's very rare. Ah. Luo Feng blinked. Not strange. The city leader said, back then when you accepted the Demon Note inheritance, there were 32 palaces there. The Demon Light inheritance has tens to over 100, why the surprise? Part 1 end here.